get that $290 for the meal. Oh, what's up, big brother?
Sharpen my blade, your brother's going out to hack someone.
I must admit, I've been hustling in the triad world since I was a kid. My family was poor, sure, but they took upbringing seriously if I wasn't sharpening knives for my eldest brother. I was delivering flour for my second brother, or buying balloons for my third. Growing up in this cutthroat world of blades and blood, the triad codes and ways were etched into my very soul. I knew that sooner or later, I'd make a name for myself at the young. One day I saw some souls bullying a street hawker. He didn't dare fight back, so he just took his anger out on his own son, telling the kid he'd only get ahead if he joined the triad. Watching this, I felt bad for the little guy, so I called him over. What's your name? I'm a teen. Do you want to look tough? I do. You're my nickname. Thank you. Follow me, and I'll look out for you. Call me boss.
Does that mean I'm in the triad now?
You can like that.
Only 60 cents.
It's the thought that counts. A gift from your boss.
Aw, thanks, boss.
Don't call me boss yet. Go over there. Stab him. Only after that are you qualified to be my lackey. Don't be scared. Just close your eyes. Give him a poke and bowl. No one will dare bully you again. Go on. With my encouragement, Aki actually rushed in without hesitation. He took a knife right at the stunt's backside and gave him a poke. Then he took off. He was faster than an Olympic sprinter. Even a wag couldn't keep up with him. 10 years flashed by, and Aki and I are all grown up now.
One day, we were hauling a crate of blades. When they all spilled onto the ground, just our luck, a patrol officer saw us. He rushed over to interrogate us. Aki and I shared a look, caught on instantly, and started bullshitting.
We're making a movie, an action flick. We're a stunt crew. Yeah, the kind that survives being hacked 1,000 times. Pretty badass, right? You two stop that right now, you hear me?
After a bunch of our tall tales, surprisingly, we actually bluffed our way out of it. We delivered the weapons to the scene, and the lackeys went wild, wanting us to grab a blade. By the time we squeezed through, all that was left was a pocket knife and a bottle opener.
This knife can barely cut a steak, let alone hack someone. Mine's even worse. It's only good for opening a can of beans. See if anyone wants to trade. Sure, anyone want to trade knives?
Before the brawl, our boss tried to pump up the boys by swinging his halberd with terrifying force. But one bad swing nearly sent the lackey next to him to an early grave. Once the fight broke out, it was as chaotic as a Lunar New Year's festival. Pure mayhem on the battlefield. Everyone was hacking away like mad, but Aki and I knew we were just here to fill the numbers and make a living. No point in dying for this. We switched into best actor mode in the middle of the chaos, bickering with each other while slowly backing away. Once we reached safety, we just found a spot to sit down. We ordered 2 lemon teas and watched the show in comfort.
Height wise along, half his usual height. Is he on his knees? No, his legs just got hacked off. Ouch!
Boss was still slashing away on the battlefield, but the heavy pole arm was taking its toll. His strength was quickly fading. Seeing the boss being hunted down, we pretended not to know him. We just covered our faces with newspapers, and that was that. We watched our first boss meet his end and get his ticket punched in no time. Cut to the boss's funeral the next day. It was a truly pathetic and desolate scene. Everyone was bawling their eyes out, but I was unfazed. I spotted those glittering gold rings on the boss's hand. I couldn't let them go to waste, so I immediately switched to best actor mode.
That's a bit much, isn't it? Man, you're not usually like this. He's not your father, for crying out loud. I never knew you were so loyal, Fi. It's destiny. Hey, who is that guy? I heard he only joined the gang 3 days ago. Only 3 days? Wow, he's really a sensitive soul.
Even my body. Aki was completely stunned. While I was sobbing, I swiped all the rings off the boss. The move was smooth as silk. If the boss knew, he'd be rolling in his grave with rage. But hey, a guy's got to make a living in the underworld. I hurried to Brother Bo's pawn shop to cash in the jewelry. Turns out they were fakes. The sister-in-law had already pawned the real ones.
Talk about a reality check. Who knew she'd be so cold-blooded? Time to find ourselves a new family then.
So we pledged loyalty to a new boss, known in the underworld as Liu Bai. Sounds intimidating, right? But we ended up with the most dead-end job, full-time delivery boys. Just 2 punks, serving the big shots their morning dim sum every day. Just then, An underling rushed in to report, saying a familiar car was parked outside. It was the BMW the boss had lost. The car reappeared out of nowhere. It might be rigged with a bomb. Once again, they were ordered to stop the suspicious vehicle. Everyone watched from a distance, terrified that the car would explode. Their legs were shaking with fear, but they had to bite the bullet and go for it. The engine started without an explosion. The lackeys all erupted in cheers. It was like a hero's welcome. They felt they had finally done something great. In high spirits, they invited the boss Liu Bai to test the car. But as soon as the boss got in, the door snapped shut like a rattlesnake's trap. A voice suddenly crackled over the radio. I am Guangdong.
No one else is allowed to be called Liu Bai.
Right after those words, the car went off with a massive bang. Their second boss, Liu Bai, was blown straight to the afterlife. Because of this, Aki and I earned the dreaded nickname, the Twin Killer Z.
Hold this. Hey, this part isn't mine, and this isn't mine either. And how me, the boss? Weren't you holding him just now? I already handed him over to you. What? Oh, what? Oh no. Boss, we're sorry. Everyone hurry up and surround him. Don't let the wind blow the boss away. Go buy a vacuum cleaner fast. Sister-in-law, don't be sad. I've already sent someone to get a vacuum. Sister-in-law, let me help you pick up the boss's limbs first. We'll salvage as much as we can. Hey, he's blowing away. He's blowing away. Get those two bastards.
Just like that, we were surrounded by the gang. They gave us a brutal beating, kicking and punching us relentlessly. But we're like unkillable cockroaches. Soon we found the third boss of our lives. On my first day, the first task I received was debt collection. To ensure we could collect the debt and look more intimidating, we used crayons to draw a fierce-looking dragon on our arms. Aki didn't just cover his arms in tattoos on his belly. He carefully drew a fake 8-pack. Looking like a bodybuilding champ, we headed to the cold storage to find the debtor Black Bull. Black Bull.
Josh, you still haven't paid back those 7 high-interest loans you owe my boss. Cough up the cash now.
As soon as I saw Black Bull, he was built like a literal buffalo with a giant meat cleaver in his hand. I instantly broke into a cold sweat. I turned to slip away, but the moment I touched the doorknob, I realized the door was locked tight. I had no choice but to bite the bullet and demand the money.
Black Bull, don't think you can skip the debt just because you're big. We're not intimidated by you. If you don't pay up today, we aren't leaving.
Black Bull completely ignored us, just focusing on his work. As time ticked by, the two of us were nearly frozen into ice sculptures. We even ended up on our knees, begging him to pay back the money. Aki had found a Guangdong token on the street the other day. Suddenly, the token fell out of his pocket. Now, Guangdong is the most powerful triad boss in the city. Black Bull thought we were Guangdong's men and was so terrified that he paid up immediately. After this experience, we learned a valuable lesson. Having a powerful boss to back you up is incredibly important. Seeing how the Guangdong token could intimidate people, we decided to use the same trick for the second debt. But life is unpredictable. It turned out the second debtor was Aki's great uncle. When I followed Aki to his door, we saw over a dozen kids huddled around a stove, gnawing on stale bread. A black and white photo hung on the wall. It was Aki's late uncle. He passed away, leaving his widow to raise a whole pack of kids alone. Aki's heart broke at the sight and he burst into tears. He even begged me to give second hand some cash to help out. My hands trembled as I pulled out the money. The cash we just squeezed out of Black Cow tumbled out of my pocket, and the kids swarmed it like they were scrambling for free candy.
Exactly how many relatives you have left who aren't dead? I told you debt collection is our job. What are you looking at? Never seen a trashy nag before. Nope, never. Keep it up, and I'll come down there and give you a proper thrashing. Whatever.
Broke and empty-handed, we headed back to the club that night to face the boss. Blackie ahead of us was forced to kneel nails for being $20 short. Another had his finger chopped off because he couldn't get back 5-0. My heart sank. We were short 30-0. That's a death sentence. The boss pulled out his blades and ordered Aki and me to stab each other 3 times to settle the debt.
Just make a dodge. Doing it.
While Aki and I were frozen mid-stab, a lackey burst in with urgent news. Guangdong the city's most powerful triad boss was outside with his men. Our boss turned pale with fright and led everyone out to face the music. Seeing Guangdong's massive crew, the other guys hightailed it out of there. Only Aki and I stayed behind, putting on a brave front. We bolted seconds later, leaving our boss to crawl and beg for mercy. He'd been bad-mouthing Guangdong in public, and Guangdong wasn't about to let that slide. He dropped the holy fire order, the death warrant. That boss was a goner. He was tossed into a cement mixer and turned into mincemeat in the blink of an eye, and just like that, we jinxed our third boss to death as well. That's 3 bosses in a row, all dead. The underworld started calling us the Jinx duo. The moment we hit the job market, everyone avoided us like the plague. Even Brother Bo the agent was terrified we'd jinx him too.
You want me to take you in now? No way, not a chance. You two are walking disasters. Whoever hires you is a dead man.
Shunned by the underworld, we had no choice but to quit the gang life. That day, the 2 of us,
with tears in our eyes, we sadly left the triad life behind. We gave up on our dreams. We worked at McDonald's and even tried hawking on the streets. We did stunts and worked as movie extras, but we felt those were dead ends. They just didn't suit our style. Then luck struck. Why work for others when you can start a business down there? So we founded Airplane International Trading Limited. Are you kidding me?
What? What are you gonna do about it?
Fine. Don't you dare leave. I'm calling for backup right now.
Back up my foot. You're broken on the run. You think you're a big shot. If you really had backup, would you be here at the job market?
we went back to the recruitment square to find a new gang to join, but we got into a scuffle. Luckily, he was just a small-time punk. He ran off with his tail between his legs in no time. We're known in the underworld as the Jinx duo. Previously, because we were born with a Jinx factor, 3 bosses in a row had died on our watch. We tried to find a new gang to join, but we were rejected everywhere. No one would take us in. Little did we know, just when we were at our wits' end, Guangdong, the kingpin of the most powerful triad, actually sent his men to tie us up and drag us away. We had no idea what kind of disaster awaited us this time. It turns out Guangdong had our birth charts, horoscopes, and blood types thoroughly checked. He discovered our auras are perfectly compatible with his and could bring him luck.
You 2 were born with exceptionally tough fates. If you tried to go straight within 3 days, you'd end up dead in the streets. Luckily, your jinxes cancel each other out too. That's the only reason you've survived this long. General Lee is a psychic from the mainland. He predicted a catastrophe for me this year, one that's hard to survive. Besides, I've got several lawsuits. Since I'm in the underworld, I must respect the supernatural. As long as I have jinxes by my side to ward it off, I'll be able to get through this safely. I'm taking you 2 in as my henchmen.
I want everyone on Hong Kong to know. I, Guangdong, don't fear the plain Jinx duo.
Without further ado, Guangdong threw down tens of thousands of dollars for us to get a makeover. Who knew we'd finally make it big and join Guangdong's triad? He even held a grand initiation ceremony. I wore red, while Kai wore white, as the red and white stars. Red fuels fortune, while white blocks bad luck, all to ensure Guangdong's prosperity. Guangdong was even more dramatic. While others bite their fingers for a blood oath, he just spat out a mouthful of blood-stained saliva. We nearly gagged at the sight. 1 drink with him, and we're bound for 3 years of trouble. Guangdong's speech was even more stirring.
Last night, I had a dream. I dreamed that there were no more triads in Hong Kong, because of all 6 million people in Hong Kong had joined the triads. That way, no one could ever call us the underworld again. My dream will come true. It definitely will. And then there will be hope for Hong Kong.
Number one.
Taiwan is run by the QMT. The mainland is ruled by the Communist Party sooner or later. We Hong Kongers will be the masters of our own land. We are the Guangdong sect.
Guangdong's speech was so powerful that even the cops outside were swayed. His henchmen cheered with thunderous roars. From then on, the 2 of us became Guangdong's inner circle. Life was smooth sailing for Guangdong. He had incredible luck. Every bit of misfortune stayed far away from him. Our fortunes turned around too, and we even went to schools to give lectures, instilling the students with the Guangdong triad spirit. But the good times didn't last. One day Guangdong found a wiretap in his office. Realizing there was a mole, he drew his gun and killed Master Lai, the Feng Shui consultant. It turned out Master Li was an undercover agent sent by the police. That night, Aki and I were ordered by Guangdong to chop Master Li into 99 pieces to feed the sharks and dump the remains at sea. But we were so chicken, we didn't even dare to look. We hacked blindly, only to puncture the hull, sinking both the boat and the body. The body washed ashore the next day, and the police hauled us in for questioning. We knew that in this line of work, loyalty comes first. In the end, we didn't say a word. The police had no choice but to let us go for the time being. Then they tipped off reporters to spread rumors that we'd turned informants. Guangdong fell for the trap and blew the TV away in a rage. He even called to tell us to buy our own coffins. We had no way to clear our names. So Guangdong put a hit out on us. Everyone in the underworld was hunting us down.
Tis the ling of the trial.
At this point, our only choice was to buy a stash of weapons from Pogo for protection. Just as we put on our bulletproof vests, Guangdong's men arrived. We fled in the car, but it blew up. We were forced to hide in a factory. Guangdong's gang cornered us there. We had no choice but to surrender at gunpoint. You two pathetic punks.
How dare you turn informant? I'll make sure you die a miserable death.
We pleaded our innocence, saying we didn't snitch, but he wouldn't listen. Guangdong threw his sacred flame death warrant, while Aki tossed the bomb, wiping out all the henchmen. Just as we caught our breath, Guangdong opened fire. Luckily, our vests stopped the bullets. He ran out of ammo and charged at us with a blade. Right then, Pogo arrived with a forklift. We lured Guangdong into position. Pogo dropped a heavy crate, successfully crushing Guangdong. And so, our fourth boss bit the dust.
We were young and reckless back then. We didn't know any better. We took a wrong turn. We joined the wrong profession. Today, Fly and Aki are here to tell you all. Don't be fooled. Joining the underworld only leads to one place, heaven. Hey, wait for him.